Hi there, my name is Liz Hathway and this is my astrological look at the week ahead. That's the week starting Monday, December 10th. Monday is Moon Day and certainly the moon is very active today. It's conjunct Pluto, it's parallel with Jupiter, it's sextile Chiron, it's sextile Mercury, it's conjunct the South Node, and then finally it's square Uranus. So it's quite a focused day in many respects, that moon in Capricorn. And I can't help but think about all those whips in the UK. I love that word, whips, you know, that are rushing around in Parliament today, trying to whip up enthusiasm for Theresa May's plan, which is going to be voted on tomorrow. It's the big vote, which will be taking place sometime in the evening when the moon is in Aquarius. Now, for the government to be voted down, you would be looking at, the government is the 10th house of the UK chart. So you'd be looking at a lot of activity around the 4th house, which is the opposition. And what we see is that Saturn is almost completely on the IC now, transiting in the UK chart. So this is suggests to me that there is quite strong opposition to the government, of course, not just on this particular Brexit plan, but just more wider, more general, strong opposition to what the government is doing. We see as well Mars in Pisces is coming up to square Mercury in Sagittarius in the UK chart. Again, you know, Mars is conjunct a fixed star at the moment, Arcana, which is related to rapid endings. And again, you know, that Mars sort of Mercury square, don't you get that sense of whipping up dissent? You know, so there's quite a lot of activity in the chart of the UK this week. But back to more general. So we've had Moon Day and Tuesday as well. The moon is in Aquarius. We've got Mercury now in Scorpio. It's kind of going to shift into Sagittarius on Thursday, back in Sagittarius. It was there on the 31st of October, but then it retrograded back into Scorpio. And so it's actually, you know, returning, if you like, getting back into Sagittarius. So in a way, you know, this is still very upbeat energy we've got going on. I mean, Jupiter is rising in the morning before the sun in Sagittarius. So, you know, it's kind of heralding this sun in Sagittarius. And it's very difficult, you know, certainly in the West around Christmas period, not to have a sort of Jupiterian feel. And that's maybe extra, you know, maybe it's bigged up a bit more this year in some ways, because there is so much crisis going on and there is so much, you know, talk of doom and gloom. You know, Saturn is in Capricorn after all, you know, so why not? But there is a desire for Christmas, there's a desire to spread the light, you know, in philosophically, religiously, you know, in our thoughts and minds. We want to be upbeat, we want to be seeing friends, we want to be being social, we want to sort of, you know, surrender almost to this sort of Sagittarius kind of vibe that's always going on around the sun in Sag, but it's kind of got that extra layer now with Jupiter rising before the sun in the morning. So it's a very interesting, very interesting kind of more bigged up sort of Christmas period in a way. And I mean, there's a lot of talk about, you know, sales being down, that the high street is suffering, people shopping online, etc. So maybe in a way, when Thursday comes and Mercury moves into Sagittarius, we might see some, because Mercury is the natural ruler of trade, it's the natural ruler of tradesmen as well. And we might see, as Mercury moves into Sagittarius, that trend where the high street is really suffering, that we might see a boost in sales, that as Mercury moves in and is approaching, you know, Jupiter, it takes a while. Jupiter's moving really fast at the moment. It's already, I think, in 8 or 9 Sagittarius. So this Mercury coming into Sagittarius might really impact what's going on the high street, and people might start to feel like they want to buy and they want to see things and they want to experience the Christmas vibe, which you do get when you go into town. Amsterdam is looking amazing at the moment. You know, all the lights are on. It's kind of party atmosphere, and you can't help but get sucked into it. You know, people are walking around carrying Christmas trees and goodness knows what. So we're getting there. On Sunday, we see Venus is sort of still in Scorpio, but she's sextile Saturn on Sunday. So yeah, Venus, yeah, in Scorpio is not so, you know, it's not really a big spend sign, Scorpio. Scorpio wants value for money. Scorpio is very much about, you know, is it gonna last? It's a fixed sign, Scorpio. And Saturn in Capricorn as well is very, as I said, there's much more of a serious energy comes from Saturn in Capricorn. But so it's these two sort of energies sort of in a way sort of living alongside each other. We've got a lot of Sag, we've got a lot of sort of mutable still, you know, with Neptune in Pisces and Mars as well, you know, still in Pisces. So there's, you know, a lot of mutable energy, still a lot of things changing. Maybe we're changing our minds about things, still very fluid. But in general, with Jupiter rising before the Sun, with Mercury moving back into Sag on Thursday, there is a sort of feel, I mean, on the very personal level, certainly, that regardless what the news is, you know, people are sort of starting to get into this Christmas mood and basically, you know, want to be with their friends, with their family, and have a good time. So I'm wishing you a great week. Thank you for listening. Bye.